First City Focus is supported in part by Duke Energy, powering the lives of its customers and communities. Online at duke-energy.com. Andy Ellerman of First City Wealth, serving Vincennes and surrounding communities to help with investing and planning for your future before and during retirement years. First City Wealth online at firstcitywealth.com. Colonial Assisted Living. Colonial is an assisted living residence promoting independence and dignity for each resident while providing the necessary assistance for daily living. Colonial Assisted Living, 1622 South Hart Street Road in Vincennes, 812-895-1504. And by donations contributed by Vincennes PBS viewers like you. Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to First City Focus. I'm your host, Nicole Carey. On this episode, we're starting off the new year with a look back at one of the biggest stories from last year, the Total Solar Eclipse. Join us to relive that historic event right now on First City Focus. Who can forget the total solar eclipse that happened back on April 8th, 2024? We took to the airwaves during the eclipse right here in Vincennes in the path of totality to document that historic day. Let's revisit that program to remember what it was like on the day the sun went dark. During this time leading up to totality of the eclipse, we'll take you through some of the many great community events that were held over this past weekend and earlier today in our local area. And of course, we'll take live looks outside where all the action is right now, watching the approaching phases of the eclipse as well as the atmosphere as folks prepare to take in totality. The eclipse officially started in our area at approximately 1:46 p.m. and we're seeing signs of it as that moon is crossing in front of the sun. And we're ready to help you see it, whether you're stuck inside or again, watching this back later. As you can see, we have multiple cameras in different locations on the VU campus, as well as some footage from downtown. One of our live looks is focused on a scientific study that is being conducted on the Vincennes University campus. Just outside of Updike Hall, the Dynamic Eclipse Broadcast, or DEB initiative, has equipment hooked up studying the sun's corona during the eclipse. When we do show you that feed, you'll notice it's actually upside down from the live look we will show you, or if you're outside and have seen it, the DEB initiative is upside down. And as you can see, that's their monitor there as they are preparing for totality as we speak. Very fascinating. We'll find out more about their study in just a bit. Now we'll go to the roof of Davis Hall where our studios are housed on the Vincennes University campus. Our engineer Dave Novak is up there with two cameras. One of the cameras is of course focused on the sun while we are approaching totality. You can see it there. I would say that's one of the best views in town. You definitely want to make sure if you're looking at the sun right now that you have those safety glasses on. At the point of totality, that's when you can take them off. Well, after the rain that came last night and the foggy start to the morning today, the weather is now prime for eclipse viewing. Many local folks have been wondering if we did indeed have out-of-town visitors. Well, look no further than the grounds of the George Rogers Clark National Historical Park. News Director Dave Foster and digital content producer Nicole Cardano-Hillary have been down at the memorial and have spoken to many visitors from far and wide.
Why did you choose Vincennes to come see?
Sure. Well, in part because it should be pretty cloud-free later this afternoon. And then second part is we have this nice memorial here, which should make for a nice landscape shot. I got two today, both full frame. This one's at 800 millimeters, taking close-up photos. And then I have this one at 15 millimeters, doing some wide angle, hoping to get a time lapse with the memorial in it. Oh, it's a beautiful town. This river is pretty sweet. I'm excited to explore a little more this afternoon as well.
We drove around 6.5 hours, I think, left this morning. And so I'm really excited. So far, we saw some really unique places on the main road here that I'm really excited to look into. Everybody's been really kind so far, and the porta potties are great.
I'm here with my club, the National Park Travelers Club. We're a nationwide club, but we have about 35 members here today to see the solar totality at Vincennes. We love being at the parks. That's why we chose George Rogers Clark Park to be at, and we're thankful for this beautiful day. We love the city. It's beautiful.
This will be my second time viewing the eclipse, and what I'm most excited about is that I have a professional camera for the first time because last time when I was 13 years old, I was just living in a moment, but this time I want to take a different approach. I really want to document it and get pictures of it and just get most of what I can.
We drove down south from Midway in Chicago, and I am excited to see a
rare
celestial event.
Me and my grandsons took off from home about 5 o'clock this morning and came to Vincennes, and it is beautiful. It's great. Everyone's friendly. I love it.
Came in to Vincennes to enjoy this beautiful eclipse. This weather that you're having is so gorgeous. Really enjoying being in this really nice city, and we're just so hopeful for a great eclipse today. Thank you for having us. We really appreciate everything that Vincennes has done to welcome us here.
I think we could keep talking to these great visitors all afternoon. I know several of them told our crew they plan on exploring more throughout the day in our community. So if you see somebody when you're out and about you don't recognize, you might strike up a conversation with them. You might be surprised of where they're from. I know everyone downtown is definitely enjoying their prime view at the memorial as we approach totality. Take a look at that. Look right now of our camera from up on Davis Hall's roof. That moon is making its way towards totality. While we wait for the magical 4 minutes of totality, we're going to take some time to share with you some of the events that were hosted over the weekend. But don't worry, as you might have noticed, we're keeping our live shots on screen as well, so you will not miss the changing of the sky as the sun as we near totality. We will be going back to full screen to enjoy the eclipse as it happens, so never fear. But first, eclipse festivities officially kicked off Friday evening. Let's take a look at some of the highlights.
In Vincennes, the winning entry of the Eclipse mural competition was unveiled to signal the start of the weekend's festivities. Hannah Swank of Swank & Company was the winning designer. The mural was funded by the mayor's office in the Vincennes City Council. It's located on the backside of City Hall along Church Street. Swank says she aimed to make a comprehensive design for the community.
I really tried to pull in, some of those obvious historical references to the town, but maybe some of the agricultural references too, just to kind of pull the whole piece together to really emphasize the community itself.
Also in downtown Vincennes, the First Friday Art Walk was held along Main Street. The event is held monthly, with this month's event tying into the upcoming eclipse with related exhibits. Meanwhile, folks in Gibson County kicked off their eclipse celebration with a bang Friday night at the Gibson County Fairgrounds. Fireworks were viewed from the grandstands. In addition to the fireworks, live music, food trucks, a beer garden, and kids' rides were all available. A fair amount of people braved the cooler temps to take part in the festivities.
Well, it's always fun to take in fireworks, but the eclipse might rival that today. Well, it was also a fun time for us here at Vincennes PBS. We sponsored the Kids Zone in downtown Vincennes. And yes, our friend Luna from the PBS Kids Show, Let's Go Luna, was the star of the show. Take a look.
You know, the things you do to get just the right shot.
She comes down from the sky and visits her friends.
There you go. sun, so let the world lead the way.
Wonderful. Thank you, Lena. Thank you. Yes, very, very cool. Very cool. Congratulations for having a great day over here, Luna.
What do you say? Yeah.
Come on, this side, Bridgie, or next to your sister? How many fingers am I holding up, Bridgie? How many fingers?
It gets easier over time.
Oh, absolutely.
It's exciting. I really feel like the city's been revitalizing over the past decade, honestly, since I've lived here, and just to see everyone coming out for an event like this is really encouraging. Say bye-bye. See you guys. See you.
We had so much fun getting to meet everyone and share Luna with all of our PBS kids out there, both young and older. Well, we're now about 18 minutes away from totality. Another fun event held this weekend was the Solar Eclipse Glow 5K. The event was organized by the Rotary Young Leaders of Vincennes, who also host an annual half marathon. Our very own Allison Bowers helped work the event and shares the details with us now.
Saturday evening, the Rotary Young Leaders of Vincennes hosted the Solar Eclipse Glow 5K. Runners and walkers seemed to all enjoy the course, weather, and camaraderie.
It was really exciting. The course was really great. It didn't feel like you were like running even. I don't know. It was very scenic route. It was nice. Good job.
The race, I think, just went as well as it could have. The weather was amazing. We had over 300 participants, and I think just everybody had a great time. We got to hand out a lot of these, and I think we're about to raise over $15,000 to give back to the community.
The Rotary Club did a good job putting it on, so it was great. Tonight was a wonderful turnout. We were not expecting the number that we had, and everybody showed up, and it was in really great spirits. The energy on the course was palpable. I think people were having a really good time. I have to say my favorite part running it was coming up on the river walk, the sunset shining onto the Wabash River. It was like getting me a little choked up that we're here in Vincennes, Indiana, historic town, this historic event happening. Really proud to be part of the group that puts this on, and I think it was a success.
For Vincennes PBS, I'm Allison Bowers.
The more than 300 runners and walkers who took part in the Glow 5K also included folks from at least 14 other states. Such a great event. You can look at the shot right here outside of Updike Hall on the Vincennes University campus, where the DEB initiative is set up. That is the scientific study we mentioned earlier in our program. Let's find out now how the DEB initiative is making most of today's solar eclipse in order to learn more about the sun.
The DEB initiative is a lot of things, but I think at its heart, it's a research project. To become a really good scientist, it's important to first start doing research as soon as you can on whatever it is that you like. I think that's really important. The DEB initiative is a collection of 75 telescopes set up from Mexico to Canada. And what we're doing is collecting data during totality of the corona of the sun. So the data we're gathering is of the corona of the sun. And what we're hoping to do is sort of map together images that we get from other sites like SOHO and SDO. And we're hoping to be able to fill in those gaps of those really short cadences of the corona of the sun. So one of the things that I learned is to be prepared, even with the smallest of things. If you want to take a video, kind of plan that out. Great interest here in Vincennes, a lot of interest coming from other areas and people here locally. Most interest in the science of eclipses and just kind of the experience that happens when a total eclipse occurs. All you got to have is interest and desire.
And as you can see in our live look, that study is now underway outside of Updike Hall. The team is ready to view and record the total eclipse and will be documenting their findings. Totality is now about 11 minutes away. So it's pretty cool that we get to be a part of history with the eclipse going on right now and science. A lot of important studies that are going on right now in our area. Well, with all the visitors in town for many events this weekend, it was also the perfect time to reveal a special project we've been telling you about. Sunday afternoon witnessed the soft opening of Vincennes' newest park, which has been organized by the Wabash Valley Progressives. Menotaney Park pays tribute to the native tribes who once called this land home. And if you've been following along with our coverage of the effort, getting the park to where it is today has taken a great collaboration to make sure everything is accurate and respectful, including the park's name.
The idea came about of wanting to do a park that featured or was about the indigenous people that lived here before. Because there's a lot of history in the town, but mostly, you know, of Harrison, of George Rogers Clark, and we saw that there was a need or there was a hole in some of that interpretation about the indigenous culture that lived here. And so we kind of brainstormed like how this would happen. Would it be this, like an existing site, creating a new park? And we were talking to the Mayor Yoakum, about it, and he suggested this site as a possibility to enhance and put a park on.
I think that this park has a really good opportunity to be a place of connection and learning about the people who have lived here in the past and their descendants who are still today. This place was a Piankashaw village. That was a Miami village, and their descendants live amongst the Miami and the Pewalia, the Peoria today.
We wanted to figure out how to do the interpretation, because most of us knew a little bit but didn't know a lot, and we wanted this to be a project where we helped told a tribe story. Like, we didn't just try to tell it, but we wanted to collaborate and work with the people that we wanted to represent. So we went through some iterations of working with different partners, and we're very lucky to be working with the Miami Tribe of Oklahoma and Peoria Tribe of Oklahoma, who were both, we were glad to have here today at this event. And they've helped us with both naming the park, as well as we've been working on kind of adding, telling their language and interpretive elements for the park as well.
While the park reveal is essentially the opening of the park, organizers are not done yet. Work will continue through the spring and summer to plant more native species, as well as more trees in the woodland area of the park. This also includes installation of walking paths throughout the park and prairie, special playground equipment, and even a structure that will represent a native dwelling. The goal is to have all of this complete by August. As you can see from that live look outside, it's getting dark outside. Well, the constantly changing forecast over the weekend and the back and forth cloud forecast for today definitely played a part in the number of visitors in our area for the eclipse. The past year, community organizers have been trying to plan for an influx of visitors to our point of totality for the eclipse. Knox County Emergency Management Agency Director John Streeter told me this morning that so far there aren't many communities that are experiencing that large influx of visitors. He says all the planning followed the trend set in the 2017 total eclipse, but so far it looks like numbers just aren't comparing to that previous event. Nonetheless, we know, as we showed you earlier, there are a number of out-of-town and out-of-state visitors here for the eclipse. And as far as the back and forth weather we've experienced, the only major reactionary change in plans was the decision to move the live bands from Patrick Henry Square to Highland Woods for Sunday, as the high probability of storms was made clear.
You got to make that call early to move the equipment and to get the word out in the first place. And we had a few pop-up thunderstorms, so we shut things down on a small scale. But earlier in the day, we went ahead and made the call to move the music from here out to Highland Woods Community Center. And it was the right call to make because of the amount of rain that we had last night. And it wasn't just the rain that was a concern, truly. During the day, it was really, really windy. And musicians and sound guys can't battle that all day and have a good show. So better to err on the side of a better quality show that might be smaller than a much bigger thing that puts more people at risk. There was a significant amount of lightning last night, even well before the storm actually rolled in, and lightning is not great when you've got that much metal up there on a hill. I'm encouraged. I'm seeing lots of out-of-town, out-of-state license plates, seeing lots of vehicles that we've never seen before, lots of big RVs and camper vans. I think we're seeing a lot of activity. I think we're going to have a great crowd today. It's been really positive. We've had a lot of out-of-town people saying, your town is so cute. We love it. It's adorable. You guys are doing a great job. Everybody has said that we're really friendly and welcoming, and that's really what counts.
Well, as we saw earlier, the downtown area is getting somewhat crowded, and I know it's only grown since we captured those interviews earlier today. Let's take a look now outside as we are getting closer to totality. what an amazing solar eclipse, total solar eclipse that we get to witness together. Hopefully you're gathered with family and friends. We're with our broadcasting family here, but that was pretty cool. We were all able to run outside and take a look at it. There you can see outside of Updike where the Deb Initiative is going on. But you can see as it's starting to get a little lighter outside, you see their feed right there. Hopefully they were able to capture everything they were wanting to during that total eclipse. Hopefully you were able to see, now I wasn't out there the whole time, but I know there was at least one of those diamond effects that they talked about. I know there was a chance that we would have two, so I'll have to review the findings and the footage later on to see if we did get to witness two of those diamond rings. But pretty cool experience to witness here in Vincennes, Indiana, the oldest city in Indiana, or the first city, of course. And it's pretty cool, the visitors that we have had, but at least for the local community to get to witness this firsthand. Definitely a once-in-a-lifetime chance. It was pretty cool to see. Even with the street lights on down 2nd Street here at VU, it was still just an amazing thing to witness. We hope you enjoyed revisiting the total solar eclipse with us. That's all for this edition of First City Focus. We'll have new stories for you in this new year on our next episode. For everyone here at Vincennes PBS, I'm Nicole Carey. We'll see you again next week.
First City Focus is supported in part by Duke Energy, powering the lives of its customers and communities, online at duke-energy.com. Andy Ellerman of First City Wealth, serving Vincennes and surrounding communities to help with investing and planning for your future, before and during retirement years. First City Wealth online at firstcitywealth.com. Colonial Assisted Living. Colonial is an assisted living residence, promoting independence and dignity for each resident while providing the necessary assistance for daily living. Colonial Assisted Living, 1622 South Hart Street Road in Vincennes, 812-895-1504. And by donations contributed by Vincennes PBS viewers like you. Thank you.